full force in his capacity as constable. He does not want his office to be short-handed on serving the increase in civil papers, which are projected from Judge Limerick's office, going from 621 papers to approximately 1,900. And so he is asking for the court to allow the deputy constable that had been previously assigned to animal control to be left with his office for the period of time that he will be out recovering. And he asked me to deliver that message to the court.
Ms. Wilson, can you give us a little insight on what's allowed in his, or what's provided for in his budget as far as part-time or additional positions that were created for 2008?
He has 2 full-time deputies right now, and as far as part-time, that's what I was just looking to see if he has some part-time help out there as well. He has $8,000 in temporary help, so do we know the duration that we're talking about? It's hard to put somebody in for a period of time.
No, but I will tell you all, he has 2 more chemotherapy treatments left.
Is he asking for this particular person to go full-time, or for a period of time, or just go in full-time? Or
Yes, until such time that he can advise the court of his changing situation. So I would ask that the Commissioner's Court, if there's a problem, I would say this, that the individual would be left with Constable Kreth's office until he can return, and then that additional position that would have normally gone to the Sheriff's Department for Animal Control be shared with Constable Kreth until he can come back.
I'll just suggest we have money in contingency. We need to see what's actually needed in the fiscal year 2008. I don't think it's necessary to make that decision today.
Okay, I want to make sure that we're all in agreement then that Constable Kreth is going to need some additional help in his office until he is able to return, because he does not have a secretary to answer the phone, and with the increase in civil papers and with the increase in the dedicated bailiff that Judge Limerick is saying that he will need, Constable Kreth, Precinct 2's office is going to be short-staffed.
I think we could basically look at any of our JP offices and say the same thing with additional work. We have no idea how much additional work there's going to be, and that's why we put part-time help in each one of those JP offices.
Yeah, and I've
so
compared.
we could look at all the constables or the JPs and say the same thing. So I think it's best to just wait.
Well, I would ask you all that whenever they come and approach the court, if Constable Kreth is not able to return in short order, that you all make sure that we do what we can to make sure that they don't fall behind in serving papers out there and in serving the citizens of Constable Precinct 2.
I would like to know, did you get the figures on the county or civil papers from, because I've never received a report. I get one from the other constables and the JPs about their civil papers, but I don't know their volume down there.
I just know based on what they projected from Judge Limerick.
we have those figures if you need them. Kalisha has those.
Yes, I'd like to see them then before we move forward on this.
Okay, the other questions that I have are about the salary and fringe benefits that are associated with upscale pay. That is not something that I have in my notes that we talked about in the budget workshop the other day, so I'd like to know what the criteria is for upscale pay and who is eligible and how were the amounts decided.
The upscale pay is the same thing as the Sheriff's Department has in their budget for certification pay, and it just sits there unless it's needed. Now, I went through the departments and looked to see who might be bumping up to the next level, such as a Clerk 3 to a Clerk 4, and I put that amount in the upscale pay. It won't go to the clerk until they meet the criteria and they fill out the forms and send it to payroll. It's just going to sit there. It's not available for any other purpose, and it just sits there and it'll fall back. Hopefully they won't need it. If they have somebody leave, that position is going to go back down to an entry level, so it might not ever be needed. It's the same thing that's in the Sheriff's office.
Well, I noticed that in the tax office, for as many people as Mr. Barber has, they have $3,000 allocated for upscale pay, while the county court, who will soon have 3 employees, has $3,500. I just wondered.
It depends on what's in that particular department. The tax office only has one person that's getting ready to bump the scale during the next fiscal year. I can't tell you off the top of my head who it is, but I'll show you later. In the county court, there's one also that is getting ready to certify. So that's the difference in when she goes to the next level.
Okay. The last thing is that I see that 2 contract appellate attorneys were added, and in my notes from Monday's budget workshop, the court said 1. So
That's correct, and I got a phone call of a reminder that in the Council of Judges meeting, that was not a request, it was court order. They voted on it, that makes it a court order, so it was put in as a court order.
thank you.
And we will seek reimbursement on that as well from the task force.
Further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
Motion carries. Number 5, consider approved setting tax rate for fiscal year 2008 Smith County budget. And I will make the motion that we do approve and set the tax rate at the proposed rate of .288940 for fiscal year 2008.
Second, Judge.
Discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed?
No.
Motion passes. Number 6, approve and/or ratify payment of accounts, bills, payroll, transfer of funds, and health claims. Item A, budget transfer from contingency in the amount of $850 to judge's library expenses. And B, budget transfer for record services from travel expenses in the amount of $400 to computer equipment. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
Yes, contingency going to library expenses, what is all this about? And is it for all the judges or for one?
The judge's library only has $5,000 budgeted for it, and they had gone over this fiscal year. If you remember, probably a few weeks ago, Judge Clark came forward with a new Westlaw contract that is to reduce those fees for next year, so hopefully they won't be. They've been going over for the last few years. This is it's not the law library, it's the judge's library.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Number 7, order approving ratification of standard letter of agreements for disposal of dredged materials.
So moved.
Discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Number 8, consider authorizing county judge to sign right-of-way easement on A, County Road 3111 in precinct number 3. Mr. Belay?
Your Honor, this is a typical right-of-way easement that we have been seeking to replace lost or inaccurate records. This is to give us 60 feet of right-of-way on this road. We recommend for its approval.
Will we approve?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Number 9, consider authorizing county judge to sign a re-subdivision plat on the Hills subdivision, lots 35, 36, and 37 in precinct 1. Mr. Belay?
Your Honor, this is a simple lot line adjustment that does not involve any additional right-of-way or drainage easement, meets our subdivision regulations in all respects, and we recommend for its approval.
Move we approve.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Number 10, consider authorizing county judge to sign final plat on Garden Valley acreage in precinct 4. Mr. Belay?
Your Honor, this is a new subdivision in precinct 4. There is no right-of-way or drainage easement involved. It does meet our subdivision regulations in all respects, and we recommend for its approval.
So moved, Judge.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Number 11, receive pipe and/or utility line installation request. This is notice only. Items A through O. A is County Road 1195, RSW Investments 2-inch